I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Originally constructed in 1996, Las Vegas Motor Speedway held its first major event in September of that year. An Indy Racing League race won by Richie Hearn. The first NASCAR event, a NASCAR Truck Series race, followed 2 months later. NASCAR Xfinity Series paid a visit in 97 before the NASCAR Cup Series arrived in 1998, marking the beginning of the track's long-term success. Changes to the oval in 2006 made it a more competitive venue for stock cars. This major renovation revamped the banking, upping it from a modest 12 degrees to 20. Not only that, but the corners were banked progressively, meaning the further up the racing surface, the steeper the banking. Lap times got quicker, racing got more competitive. The current stock car track record held by Kurt Busch, just over 196 miles per hour. Tonight, it's the DEP Graphics Truck Series EV Racing 188, and it's next on HBR TV. Nightfall has bestowed us here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tonight's race will be run under the lights in its entirety. Welcome, everybody, once again. Good evening. Welcome to virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV. Practice just about wrapped up here from the Speedway. Let's go trackside to see where everyone's shaking out. Lawson, Coleman, and Durkee, the top three fast times. Looks like the Beer Brigade has got something figured out here this afternoon. 30.42 to a 43 to a 45. Zach Millett, fourth quick with a 30.45 himself. Vincent Short, a 30.55, rounding out that top 10. Sorry, top 5. So just like that, practice complete. We're going to jump right into the qualifying session. Again, the race details for tonight: 66-degree ambient temperature, a very dry 19% humidity, 67-degree track temperature, 188-mile race distance. Looks like Chris Klein, the first to hit the track. 10-minute race session, qualifying session, 2 laps apiece. Set the field for tonight's EV Racing Las Vegas 188. Chris Klein out of Buford, Georgia. Few guys in the stream chat already. JL, let's go 27. Got Mike cheering on Andy Sizemore. Dakota says going to be a good race. Kind of got that same mindset. Chris Klein, 31.002, his first lap. Alfie Charon leaving pit lane to take his out lap here. Meanwhile, Jeff Ottinger goes P1. Vincent Short across the stripe. He takes the green flag. The 19 of Coleman locks in there in the third spot for now, 31.09. Again, taking a look at the practice session results again. Lawson, Coleman, Durkee, Millett, and Short, your top 5 fast times. Shipman goes P1, a 30.82. Now Coleman goes P1, a 30.79. First lap for Short, 31.128. Paul Durkee goes top of the board, 30.729. Another Birdsong Brewing entry. Andy Sizemore down the back straightaway here on his out lap. Number 27 sporting the throwback Kevin Harvick colors. Sizemore on to turn number 4 at the stripe. Where does he land? 31.079, 11th quick. Tony Polk in the 8. First lap was a 31.267. '14th quick, 31.028 for the number 8 machine. Milling across the stripe, first lap of 31.138. That's 18th quick. Seems that lap 1 tends to be the throwaway. We'll see if that trend continues. Milling across the stripe, 30.691, takes the top spot away. Alfie Sharon rides in that second position, 30.71. Blaine Woodruff leaving the pits. New colors on the 71. About 4 minutes plus remaining in the session. A few drivers not making laps just yet. Dylan Bryant on the track. Got Pat Dixon in the stream chat. What's up, Pat? Lap 1 for Woodruff, 31.11, 31.157, that is. Woodruff out of turn 4. 20th on the board as he gets to the line. Where does he improve? 15th, moves up 5 spots, 30.844 for Blaine Woodruff. Dylan Bryant on the back stretch on lap 2 at 30.856, his first lap. Second lap for Bryant, not faster. That was not really the trend here today. Lap 2 tended to be quicker. Not the case at this point. Tim Pope leaving the pits here. He's going to make a quick run here with about 2 minutes plus remaining. Juan Jimenez also late to the party. He's going to make a run at it as well. Oh, Pope with trouble. He's going to spin the truck out, coming to the green. He's still in the throttle here. I don't know if this is just a hardware-related problem for Timothy Pope, but timing everything here for Pope, not a good situation for him. Throttle hung on that machine, it seems. So we'll go to Juan Jimenez. About a minute and a half left in the session. Should have time to get a couple laps in here. It's on lap 1. 31.152 for Juan that first time by. Let's see if he can get anything quicker here the second time across the line. Still a full minute remains, so plenty of time to get it done. Shortcuts the corner the best he can, drops it down to the bottom. Lap 2. Where does he land? 6 quick, 30.761. Good lap for the 22. Gets him inside the top 10. So with that, we're going to take a very short break. Be back with our starting grid after this. Stay with us. Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the DEP Graphics Truck Series EV Racing Las Vegas 188. On the pole position with a lap time of 30.691 seconds, it's the 315 of Zach Millett. Starting on the outside front row, it's the 78 with Charon Racing. It's Alfie Charon. Row number 2, the 13 of Paul Durkee. Andy Sizemore, the number 27, he'll roll off from the 4th spot. Paul Ferdiani, the number 33, an EV Racing driver, will start from the 5th position. And late to the party, Juan Jimenez will start from P6. Number 94, Nick Cote is going to roll off 7th with Larry Dickerson. The number 69 will roll off from the 8th starting spot. Vincent Short with Holler Boys Racing, the number 15, will start from the 9th spot. Brandon Coleman will start 10th. Mike Adamson, the 751 Limitless Motorsports driver, he'll start from the 11th starting position. 12th goes to Daniel Baker in the 09. 13th starting position, Justin Lawson in the 20. 14th goes to Rob Chipman Jr., the number 55. Chris Klein, the 51, he'll start 15th with Blaine Woodruff, the number 71, starting 16th. Dylan Bryant with Dirty Donkey Racing, that's a fun one. He'll start 17th. Scott Milner, the 31, starts 18th. Double O Jill Bennett. NTRL EV Racing, he'll start 19th. Jeff Ottinger starts 20th. Tony Polk, 21st. Timothy Pope, with his struggles in qualifying, he's going to roll from the 22nd spot. Hopefully he made it into this race, fixed his issues. Russ Kilgore, 23rd, and Dave Holmberg, the number 63, shotgun on the field in the 24th starting position. Your starting grid for the EV Racing Las Vegas 188. Working through turns 1 and 2 right now on their one and only pace lap before we get under the green flag here in just a half a lap. Got Derek Welch in the stream chat. Have a good field tonight. Money is on Juan if he stays connected. Juan Jimenez in the 22, that is. Ryan Mickler-Doyle saying, let's go Sizemore, and Bennett double O. Got some stream chatters tonight, too. This is good. I like it. Outside lane's got to get packed up here. A little bit strung out. Base truck pulls off down pit lane.
Green flag.
Green flag waves. We're underway from Las Vegas. Zach Millett leads the field in 3 and 4. Sizemore real loose in the middle of the corner. Does he save it? Nope, everybody else in trouble. Looks like Juan Jimenez gets a piece of the wall. How these guys managed to get through this without a caution, but man, that was scary. And I can't even go back to it, so we're just going to rewind it straight up. I hate doing this, but there's no button for me to click here because no caution came out. But watch the 27 of Sizemore as he tries to go through turns 3 and 4 here. 27 truck. Good Wrench service machine up top, the white and red automobile. You can see the back end starting to step out already. Mrs. Vincent Short still sliding down the racetrack. The 69 truck goes up topside to avoid. Looks like the 09 is going to get a piece of Sizemore here, and it's going to check up everybody else. And in fact, ahead of him, it was Juan Jimenez involved in his own issue off of turn 4. I thought it was related to Sizemore, but apparently not. Back to live action here from Vegas. Again, no caution in that incident, so we remain under the green flag. But man, the pressure coming hot and heavy from the 78 of Alfie Charon. Top 3 have gotten away slightly after those issues there out of turn 4 on lap 1. About 3 seconds back to 4th place Adamson. Battle for the lead though into turns 3 and 4. Alfie Charon goes to the bottom. Chuck's in front. Lap led for Charon, but Millett's going to try and battle back. Might have been a slight bit of contact between those two. Millett with a big run through 1 and 2. Had nowhere to take it. Has to go to the outside. Got Matt Sisler in the stream chat. Says, I think Millett's going to be tough to beat if he keeps the truck clean. Right now, Charon's showing some pace here early on. It's going to come down to being able to keep your foot to the floor throughout this run. Momentum racing at its finest here in the trucks here at Vegas. You can run pretty much wide open all the way around. Maybe late in the run, you got to burp the throttle a bit. Meanwhile, Millett repassing Alfie Charon takes the top spot back away. Meanwhile, Paul Durkee hanging in that 3rd position. Mike Adamson leading the 2nd pack, I guess you could call it here, behind our top 3. About 3 seconds in the rear view from those top 3 drivers. Adamson leading the 33 of Ferdiani, 94 of Nick Coate. It's Larry Dickerson, Brandon Coleman, Dylan Bryant, Rob Chipman in the top 10. seems that everybody's trying to get their footing here early on from Vegas. First lap excitement is kind of settled down. Gotta say though, Adamson, through that cycle of excitement here at the beginning of this race, he's moved up 7 positions. Dylan Bryant, he's in the 9th spot. He's up 8 positions. Then Jeff Ottinger, the number 76, he's up 9 spots as he takes this position away from the 20 of Lawson. Jimenez zipping the wall. 22 of Juan Jimenez in trouble again. Not what we expected to see. Had a good qualifying run. Some right rear damage on that number 22 and some left front damage as well. Truck's certainly going to be off the pace. Aerodynamics do come into play here at Vegas. Number 1 started in P6, already back in the 21st position. Andy Sizemore with his first lap excitement as well. He's working his way back through the field. Currently running in the 20th spot, also with some right rear damage. Juan Jimenez needs to kind of hope for a caution here to run down pit lane, try to get some repairs made to that truck. Has to not lose a lap. Again, he's already back in the 22nd position. Joe Bennett running in the 15th spot. Some pressure coming out the back with Scott Milner and Blaine Woodruff in behind. Woodruff in the number 71. Milner in that number 31, that yellow and orange machine. So work out of turn number 4. Milner goes way up top. Blaine goes way to the bottom. Going to try and slide job him. He does it successfully out of turn number 2. Textbook slide job, it seems, there by the 71 of Blaine Woodruff. Now Blaine goes up in the mid lane. Really have 3+ lanes to work with here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Typically makes for some very good racing. Well, checking on out front, our race leaders, the top 3, still not separated from each other in the slightest. Billet leads, Alfie Sharon, Paul Durkee in P3. That's how they qualified. It's how they run. Another group of trucks back here, at least 5 of them. The 69 of Dickerson has gone to the front of this pack, gone by Mike Adamson, Brandon Coleman, Paul Ferdiani. Ferdiani looking for a spot here to the inside. The number 24, Dylan Bryant. Ferdiani with a new paint scheme this week. He's in the World Series of Poker on board. I don't know, Dylan got loose out of turn 2 there, but switching lanes, it looked like was the 33. Brian able to hold off the charge from Paul Ferdiani, but now he's under attack here, trying to take the spot from Brandon Coleman. He goes to the bottom. Coleman up top in the number 19 machine. Toyota versus Toyota down the back straightaway. This all happening here for the 6th position on the racetrack. Fuel window tonight, we're expecting between 29 and 33 laps. I mentioned that because we're 20 laps in here with no caution flag. Fingers still crossed on that. May see some green flag stops here in the next 10 to 13 laps. Verdiani trying to make a move here to take the spot from Brandon Coleman as well. Not sure the situation for the 19 of Brandon Coleman, if it's just a matter of what line to take. Thought of switching things up there, but Cote was filling the gap quickly. Coleman stays tucked in between the 33 and the 94 into turn 1. Gonna wonder if Coleman's burned his tires off, pushing too hard too early. Top 3 still Millett, Sharon, and Durkee unchanged. Millett starting to stretch it out a bit over Alfie Sharon. It's up to about a quarter second, still pretty tight. But Alfie not all over the back bumper of Zach Millett anymore. Lawson taking a look to the inside on the 55 of Rob Chipman. Chipman up top, Chris Klein there in the middle of red and white, number 51. Coming out of turn number 4. Lawson's got the 10th spot for now. Doesn't quite have Chipman clear. Now he does. Lawson looking pretty racy in behind the number 94 Hot Wheels machine. That's Nick Cote. Still side by side with the 94. Chris Klein's going to tuck in behind the 20 of Lawson, maybe give him a bit of a draft. But no, 20's going to slide up, block the advance of the 94. Cote's going to look about crossing over on the bottom. Nothing doing there. Some left front damage on the 94 truck. Didn't see that earlier on. I don't know if that was some contact between himself and the 20 or not. 20 looks relatively clean by comparison, so not sure where the damage came from. Probably not helping the 94 at all. Meanwhile, Mike Adamson in pit lane. Lap 27 seems a little early for a green flag stop. Doesn't appear to be damaged at all. He's in the pit box nice and clean. Right side's in the air. Four tires and fuel for the 751. Adamson down and away. Looks like a pretty clean and standard stop. Quick stop, too. 14.28 seconds. Meanwhile, Millett down the backstretch after putting him a lap down. Don't know if this is just a bit of an attempt at an undercut here, trying to get some fresh tires, gain some track position while they can. The fall off pretty significant here. Again, only 28 laps in. Zach Millett's best lap of the day, though slower than Alfie Charon, a 30.62 to Charon's 61. Millett last lap, a 31.90. So yes, just about 1.3 seconds of tire fall off throughout the course of the run. Alfie Charon, however, 32.06, so he's got a little bit more fall off. Maybe pushing the truck a little harder than he anticipated early on to keep pace with Zach Millett. 29, about to be 30 laps go on the board here. Millett with the race lead. Again, fuel window, we kind of expected it between 29 and 33 laps. A couple of drivers taking the opportunity to pit. It was Mike Adamson, Dan Baker, but Baker came down to lap 22. I think that was more tire-based, maybe repairs than it was fuel. As everybody else here at the end of lap 30, still on the racetrack. Millett's out of the gas. He's going to come to pit lane right now. Hard on the brakes. Getting her woe down. Locks up the rears. Hopefully he got it down to pit speed. Alfie Charon, Paul Durkee, all the top three drivers in the pits. Everyone else stays out. A few other drivers now. Jeff Ottinger, Holmberg, Sizemore, Milner, Jimenez, Tony Polk, all coming down pit lane here for scheduled service. Jimenez may spend some extra time in the pit box here trying to get some repairs made. The call is going to be 4 tires and fuel for all. First pit stop of the evening. Can't imagine anyone's going to gamble here, especially under green. Millett down and away. 14.85 seconds. Alfie Charon down and away. 15.18 is his pit stop. Meanwhile, Chris Klein, race leader now, yet to make his pit stop. Same with Rob Shipman and 00 Joe Bennett. That's the top three. Now they're just going to hope for a caution here and put these guys all a lap down if they can. Chris Klein out of the throttle. He's got to get her woe down too. Seemed a little hot coming in. 00 Joe, Rob Shipman, both in the pits. Shipman a little bit slower, or maybe it's 00 Joe going too fast. We're going to find out here who gets let go first. Chris Klein down and away, 00 Joe down and away, so good entry for both drivers. Meanwhile, Zach Millett has cycled back out to the race lead, and now it's not a quarter-second advantage over second-place running Alfie Charon. It's 1.3 seconds. That much time gained between pit entry, pit exit, time in the box. It all adds up. Zach Millett certainly spends time honing that craft. And it's showing. Zach Millett with the race lead here, 35 laps in. We're going to go HPR TV side by side. You won't miss a minute of the action. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, lap 42. And man, oh man, Alfie Charon has run down race leader Zach Millett from 1.3 seconds away to right on that back bumper, less than half a tenth away. I don't know if there's some strategy being played here, trying to work the draft or what the case may be, but not typical of Zach Millett. Usually you get him out to 1.3 second advantage over anybody, and it just gets bigger and bigger. Alfie Charon has certainly closed down the gap to within 1/10 of a second. Now the question is, can Alfie make the pass? He was able to do it early on. Millett was able to repass him for that position in the race lead. He's right on board with Alfie Charon as he tries to take the top spot away from Zach Millett. Meanwhile, Zach Millett putting a lap on Timothy Pope, not what we expected to see. Pope usually right up front with these guys challenging for those top 3 positions. Remember, Timothy Pope had an issue in qualifying. Not sure if it was hardware related. Had a stuck throttle, it seemed. The wreck out of turn 4 coming to green, was not able to get a qualifying lap in. Really having some issues here now as he is now down 1 lap in the 22nd position. Now, the more I watch these two at the front of the field, Millett and Charon, it does appear that they are starting to work together a bit, using the draft to their advantage as they have gotten their lead, the two of them. 5 seconds the gap back to P3, the 751 of Adamson. Truthfully, Timothy Pope being in this mix is going to help them just a bit more. Maintain that gap over P3. Nick Cote battling with Chris Klein for the 7th spot. Tucks in between him and the 33 of Paul Ferdiani. Ferdiani all over the back bumper, marking up the tailgate of the 94. Derek Welch in the stream chat caught that earlier. Hit the thumbs up for HBR TV. Yes, guys, please, if you can, if you're watching, check it out. Hit that like button, share it, subscribe if you haven't already. All the good stuff. Those likes really do make a difference. It opens up the algorithm at YouTube, gets the stream, and not only just us here at HBR TV, but even Numb Thumbs Racing League in front of some new eyeballs. It's always a good thing. Even if you only pick up 1 or 2 new people into the league, that's always a bonus. A couple more viewers for HBR TV, that's an added bonus. It doesn't cost you guys any money, just click the button. Certainly do appreciate it. Continuing to watch this battle for position. Chris Klein leading this pack. Nick Cote there in behind. Then it's the 33 of Paul Ferdiani, but he's got company too. Justin Lawson knocking on the back door. Meanwhile, the 7 of Russ Kilgore, he's come into the picture as well. Interestingly enough, Adamson down pit lane early again. Remember correctly, I think his pit stop was about lap 27 the first time. Short pitting each time. Adamson may have a plan here, just trying to get some fresher tires on the truck. It worked out for him enough to keep him in that 3rd place after the cycle. The drawback is you do run the risk of that caution coming out and you getting trapped a lap down. Hopefully not the case, but Adamson down and away are going to rejoin this race with a little bit fresher rubber underneath that machine. Klein and Cote battle has calmed down quite a bit. Justin Lawson has gotten a spot from the 33 of Paul Ferdiani. Russ Kilgore has followed him through, so moved the 33 back to the 10th spot. And Joe Bennett in the stream chat. Let's go 00 Joe. Joe, thanks for chiming in. Check on Andy Sizemore here. Remember, he had his first lap issues. Got real crossed up and loose on the exit of turn 4. Didn't seem to be initiated by any sort of contact, though he did get the right rear of the truck into the fence, damaged the machine. Looks like he has since repaired it, either manually or with the fast repair. Running in the 16th spot. He still has plenty of work to do. Still time to get it done. This the battle for the 8th position. Justin Lawson, Russ Kilgore. Dan Baker in the 09 into the mix here, not on the lead lap. Looks like Baker has made his second pit stop here at lap 52. Certainly a faster pace for the 09 all over the back bumper, the 20 of Lawson. He's going to try and work his way back through the field here. Again, same situation. These early pitters, they do have the advantage of the fresh tires, but they're at risk. The caution comes out. Juan Jimenez, Mike Adamson, Tony Polk, Dan Baker, Vincent Short, all off the lead lap. Short might actually be out of this race. Not sure what happened with the 15. Of course, we did not have a caution by any means. Back out front, Zach Millett continues to lead. And as we saw at the end of the last run, starting to put some distance on Alfie Charon. It's now a full second back to the 78 truck. It was a little bit closer during pit stops initially, not the case at the moment. Millett continuing to stretch that advantage. Last lap for Millett, a 31.84, Alfie a 31.96, so we're talking only a tenth of a lap, but and over the course of a run, it does add up. Zach pit last at lap 31, so did Alfie Charon. Dylan Bryant, who runs P3, he pit lap 32. Russ Kilgore is in the pits. So the guess for Millett here is going to be lap 62 for the pit stop if he continues on the same trend. Got to start to wonder, though, if these guys are going to start trying to save some fuel and push it a little further to the end. It's going to put them tight on fuel at the conclusion of this race unless they can stretch it. Millett Millet stays out. Puts lap 62 on the board. Charon back 1.9 seconds now. And pit stops upcoming here under the green flag. Second time today. No cautions to speak of just yet. Fingers crossed we don't have any. We don't want to see that. Just a testament to the skill level of these drivers over at NTR. And here comes Millet. Lap 62 as we anticipated. Locking it up. Locking it up big time on entry. Doesn't matter. We're going to throw those tires away. Going to be 4 tires and fuel for Zach Millet. Alfie Charon also down pit lane. Same pit strategy as race leader Millet. Millet perfect into the pit box. Alfie Charon more of the same. .85 seconds in the pit box. Alfie Charon of 15:13. Andy Sizemore now into the pits. His scheduled stop as well. That's going to move Dylan Bryant to the race lead. Larry Dickerson, P2. Chris Klein, third. Paul Ferdiani, Blaine Woodruff, the top 5. Dylan's going to come down, or he's going to try to come down. Pushed it a little too hard, but he gets through it okay as long as he doesn't get caught speeding. Larry Dickerson follows him in there. Paul Ferdiani's going to come down pit lane as well. So Chris Klein's going to take over the race lead. Officially past halfway here, lap 65. Klein's going to try and get down as well. Hard on the brakes, gets a little tail happy, gets a piece of the wall, or does he? Don't know if he's going to get an unsafe entry for this or not. If not, he's going to be really lucky to avoid that penalty. Klein in the pits from P2. Brandon Coleman also in the pits, number 19. No penalty for the 51. Job well done and a fast stop as well, 14.70 seconds. Coleman drops the jack and he's on his way. 00 Joe Bennett, also down pit lane for his second trip. Fresh tires and fuel. Zach Millet is cycled back to P1 here at the completion of our second round of green flag pit stops. Mike Adamson has leapfrogged Alfie Charon for the second spot. Remember, Adamson was one of the first to come down pit lane. He's hitting pit lane about 4 laps sooner than the so far race leaders. Might have something up his sleeve here because each time he does this, gets a little bit closer to the front. Still just about 3 seconds behind Zach Millet. Adamson certainly no dummy. He's got a plan. He's trying to put it to use. So with green flag stops complete, we're going to go HBR TV side by side once again. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed...
Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, lap 76. Zach Millett continues the lead. Alfie Charon has taken care of that second position and taken it away from the 751 of Mike Adamson. Again, remember, Adamson was pitting sooner than the rest of the leaders. He's on a different cycle, different strategy. Tends to come down about 4 laps sooner than Zach Millett and Alfie Charon. So if that trend continues, took the words out of my mouth. Adamson down pit lane. Again, off cycle. It worked for a little while. It got him up into that second spot. But because he's on older tires, Alfie Charon was able to run him down. And the drivers were allotted 4 sets of tires over the wall tonight. So this will be the 3rd set going on for Adamson. Again, I think he's got a plan. See if he can make it pay. Again, we've talked about it a bunch tonight. The risk with this strategy is if the caution comes out relatively close to when you've made your stop, it can pose a problem. That problem is you'd be lapped down with work to do. The way this race is run so far, and caution free, it's going to make it awfully hard to get that lap back. Of course, you can be the first truck 1 lap down, as Adamson likely would be if something were to happen. He's got the pace, but you're going to need another caution to get that lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. Russ Kilgore and Nick Cote kind of trading positions back and forth throughout the course of tonight's race. Kilgore with the advantage for now, a couple of truck lengths back to 94. Then it's Chris Klein in behind the both of them. And then Justin Lawson. This 4-truck group of drivers kind of been together most of the evening, battling for one spot or another. 45 laps to go here from Vegas. And Millett still with the race lead. Alfie Charon second. 24 of Bryant runs P3. Then Larry Dickerson, Paul Durkee, the top 5. Chris Klein going to the inside, as well as Nick Cote, taking that spot away. Moved the 7 of Kilgore back to the 8th spot. Cote and Klein up 6 and 7. Lawson's watching, saying, I want to be a part of this battle, but he's not close enough. At least not just yet. Trying to close in. .51 of Chris Klein, just about 2 lap fresher tires than the 94 of Nick Cote. So far, that's enough to hold him off. Keeping an eye on consistency of these pit stops under the green flag. Again, Zach Millett, Alfie Charon, and a few others have made their stops lap 31 and then lap 62. That's Millett, Charon, Paul Durkee, Justin Lawson, Andy Sizemore, Jeff Ottinger, and Dave Holmberg all seemingly on that same strategy right now, which just means that they continue to work that strategy. They're going to make the next pit stop here, lap 93, all things being equal. With that said, if that 31 lap run truly is the maximum distance they can go on a tank of fuel, all those drivers that pit lap 62 and now will eventually pit at lap 93 are going to be a lap short. They can go 124 laps total. Lap 124, they'll run out. Now, that's barring any kind of fuel savings, barring any kind of stretching things, and again, that is all just assuming that that 31 lap run that they've been working off of is truly the max distance that they can go. We did hear that from some drivers pre-race that, okay, yeah, you can probably go 32 laps, but it looks like everybody's going to pit 31 or even sooner, as we've seen some drivers opt to do that, try to utilize the tires that are available to them. As it stands right now, the drivers that were going to pit here lap 93, that would be their last stop of the race. So that would leave one set of tires still over the wall at the completion of this race. Lap 88 goes on the board. Still remains to be seen what the strategies will be. Is Millett trying to save a little bit here with the gap that he has back to Alfie Charon? It's 4.8 seconds. He can afford to save a little bit of fuel right now. Does he save that fuel right now instead of late in the run? Alfie Charon again running in that second spot. No challengers to his rear view mirror. He's got about 5 seconds back on the 24 of Dylan Bryant. Larry Dickerson in behind Bryant. That battle a lot closer. Paul Durkee just ahead of Chris Klein. This battle is heating up as well. This is for the 5th position. Durkee pit lap 62. Chris Klein lap 65. Slightly fresher tires for Chris Klein. I'll see if he can do anything with the 19 here. Sorry, the 13. Right there, less than a truck length off the back bumper. Paul Durkee maintains the 5th position, that is. Chris Klein trying to crack that top 5 today. Had a strong run. And Klein up 9 spots. While these two continue to battle, they'll want to give a call to Dylan Bryant. Again, he runs in that 13th position. 3rd position. He started 17th today. Hasn't made a whole lot of noise working his way towards the front, but he is in a good position here late in this race. It's the final round of pit stops, or likely final round of pit stops, about to get underway. Keep an eye on Zach Millett here to see when he makes his turn down pit lane. We figured lap 93. Does he stretch it one extra lap? So puts lap 93 on the board. If he can go to 94, again, this is assuming that 31 laps is the max. If he can go to 94 here, he can certainly make it to the end. Honestly, even if he pits in the normal cycle, we've seen Millett be able to save fuel so many different times. Stretch a tank of fuel to the end a little bit further than you have all race long, but here he comes down pit lane. Every time he has come down pit lane, he locks some rear tires up. Keeps it straight. He's going to make sure he does not speed. Alfie Charon also on the same strategy. He's down pit lane as well. So, final stop of the day for Zach Millett and Alfie Charon. Others soon to follow. Millett down and away, 14.85 seconds. Been a lights out pit stops tonight. Alfie Charon, a little bit more lights out, 14.35 seconds on the number 78 truck. A fast stop. Paul Durkee, Justin Lawson also down the pit lane. Blaine Woodruff, Andy Sizemore. Andy comes down to the pits in the 12th spot, so slowly but surely trying to work his way back towards the front. But man, a caution certainly help him kind of regroup, reset, trying to work his way back towards the front of this field where he started. So Dylan Bryant, your race leader, lap 96. His last pit stop was at lap 64. Expect to see him, maybe not this time, but the next time by, or is he coming down now? He is. So Larry Dickerson now back to the point. While Zach Millett gets a lap back. Dickerson still needing to pit. Expect to see the 69 truck down in the pits the next time by as well. I was wondering why that paint scheme was looking so familiar. I know it's got his typical sponsor on there, but I think this is almost an old school Tony Stewart Home Depot throwback. Dickerson down pit lane for his final stop of the day. Chris Klein now takes over the top spot. Larry Dickerson, Double O Joe Bennett, Brandon Coleman, all in the pits. Looks like we just might get our final round of green flag stops in under the green flag. Millett's still in the second position, but Chris Klein is in pit lane. Klein in the pit box as Millett exits turn 4, crosses the stripe here, retakes the top spot at the conclusion of the pit cycle. So now it's Millett and Adamson. Adamson has taken over P2 once again through that early cycle of pit stops. But remember, he's going to make one more stop before this one is over. He won't have enough to make it to the end on fuel, but he will have an extra set of tires over the pit wall that he can bolt on when he makes that last stop. Just don't know if it's going to be enough for him to take full advantage of it. Alfie Charon just about a second behind him. Likely to take over that second spot here when he catches him. 26 laps to go here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but Adamson still having a strong day. It's not a bad strategy. Just don't know how it's going to pay off. Certainly a caution is one thing, but you got to keep in mind that as much as Adamson still has his final set of tires, so does Zach Millett, Alfie Charon, and others. 25 to go, and Adamson is coming down pit lane right now. He's going to use that set this time through. Let's see if he can use the fresh rubber. Loses connection for a moment. Wouldn't that be a bummer? Adamson into his box. So there it is, 4 tires and fuel. Final stop of the day for Mike Adamson with 24 laps to go. Let's see what he can do with it. Now, in this case, the caution comes out. Those with tires still available over the pit wall, likely to come down pit lane, and Adamson would have the opportunity to stay out on the racetrack. Problem is, right now, he's a lap down in 18th. Zach Millett just crossing start-finish, so he's got work to do to catch Millett to get back on the lead lap for one. Just don't know if it's going to pay off for him, but let's try and go through the field here late in the race. 23 to go. Zach Millett, your race leader. Led from the pole. He's definitely led the most laps today through every pit cycle. He's gotten back out into the front and extended that lead over P2, whoever it was at the time, every time. The lead over Alfie Charon, 5.9 seconds. Alfie started outside front row. Russ Kilgore, he pitted lap 85, so he will definitely need to make one more stop, but runs third, up 20 positions right now. Certainly love to get a caution right now. He'd be a big-time beneficiary of that, as there's only 13 trucks on the lead lap. Dylan Bryant started back in the 17th spot today. He runs fourth. So Russ Kilgore does come to pit lane. Bryant inherits the third spot. Larry Dickerson now in the fourth position, started 8th today. Paul Durkee in the number 13. Birdsong Brewing Machine, member of the Goats. Durkee started third, running in the top 5. Teammate Justin Lawson in the number 20. He's having a solid day as well. Started P13, he's up to 6th. Nick Cote in the 7th position. Nick started 7th, runs 7th, so you can't complain too much about that kind of day. Chris Klein started 15th, running in the 8th spot. He's got Mike Adamson all over the back bumper, but Adamson and Klein not on the same lap. Paul Ferdiani, number 33. Again, a new paint scheme on that truck this weekend out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Having a good run in the 9th spot. Robert Shipman Jr., the number 55, in the top 10. Wayne Woodruff, the 71 machine with autism awareness on board that F-150. Woodruff up 5 spots in the 11th position. 00 Joe Bennett. The HVAC Motorsport sponsorship on board. Runs 12th. Started 19th, so Joe's really not having a bad day at all. Brandon Coleman started in the 10th spot, running in the 13th position. Certainly not where he'd want to be, considering, but Tim Pope to the outside. Currently 14th. Looks like he might take P13 away. Had a struggle in qualifying. Was a lap down early on. In fact, he might still be now. Still a good recovery for Tim Pope. Jeff Ottinger runs 15th, started 20th. Number 76 Beechcraft machine. Scott Milner started 18th, runs 16th. Everybody doing a pretty good job. There's only a handful of guys that have gone backwards this afternoon. Mike Adamson, we saw him as high as 2nd. Adamson out of Sanford, Florida, was on a completely different pit strategy here today. Started 11th, running 17th. Dave Holmberg started dead last, the number 63 machine. He's up into the 18th position. Russ Kilgore started 23rd, he's 19th. After his pit stop, he's good to go to the end. Andy Sizemore, tough afternoon for the 27 truck. Good qualifying effort, started up into the top 5 and, well, one lap in, trouble out of turn 4, took on some damage and lost a ton of track position. Tony Polk, 21st position. That's where he started. Some damage on that truck, just trying to survive. And then Dan Baker and Juan Jimenez, Vincent Short, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, all out of this race. 15 laps to go for Zach Millett. The gap between himself and Alfie Charon, it's coming down. It's 3.2 seconds. We did see that happen after the first round of pit stops. I don't know if it was a matter of Millett just trying to let Alfie come back to the back bumper, if that maybe helped his truck handle a little bit better with a truck right on the tailgate. Seems to be the only one that can hang with the 315 today. Or is it just a matter of Alfie being able to put the power down and reel in Zach? Even still, though, Millett's last lap at 31.53. Alfie's at 31.59, so Alfie's got some work to do if he's going to gain too much ground here in the next 13.5 laps. As Millet's out of turn 2, down the back straightaway with little to no pressure out the back window. A battle for the third spot between Dylan Bryant and Larry Dickerson. Larry's tires just about 1 lap newer than the 24 truck. Not a whole lot, but with 13 to go, you know, Larry's going to push as hard as he can to get that top 3 finish. Bryant hanging on to that third position. And he started 17th here today. Certainly our biggest mover, hard charger, if you will. Bryant running that third position, but Dickerson running that 4th spot all over 24. Coming to 9 laps to go. In fact, it's 10 laps to go. Bryant's going to have some work to do to hold off that 69 truck. While these two battle for that position, Paul Durkee, Justin Lawson in the background, slowly but surely starting to gain on these two. Dickerson going top to bottom, bottom to top, trying to find a solution to this problem that is the 24 truck that is in front of him. Dylan Bryant doing all he can to be real wide, but Dickerson goes way topside, going to try to build a run out of turn 2. Bryant ran at 31.68 the last time by to Larry's 31.64. Now it switches. Bryant is 31.71. Dickerson at 31.77. It's kind of back and forth. Bit of a seesaw here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Dickerson seems to have the pace over Dylan Bryant. Bryant able to hold him off, though, and prevent that pass from happening. Seems that you're going to have to make it on the outside. Faster way around tends to be on the bottom. But if you go to the bottom to make that pass, you really open the door for the defending driver to pinch you down there. Not open up the wheel out of the corner and lose momentum on exit. Six and a half laps to go. Back out front, Zach Millett just encountering some lap traffic. Still maintaining a 3.3 second advantage over Alfie Charon. I think just to be safe, I think Millett's going to tuck in here and pull some draft the best that he can. Save a little bit of fuel if he can. Got to keep in mind, we could have a green-white checkered. I know we haven't had a caution all afternoon long, but with 5 to go, anything could happen. Still the battle for third, Dylan Bryant, Larry Dickerson. It just won't go away. know there's some benefit to going low there in the dog leg, but given the circumstances, you think you might want to stay tucked up behind the best you can on the 24. Kind of take some draft, the best that you can pull, get some momentum down into the corner. We've got less than 4 laps to go. Bryant still hanging on to that 3rd spot. Paul Durkee and Justin Lawson. This is also for position 5 to be exact. Nick Cote in behind. Mike Adamson in 15th, first truck 1 lap down. If we were to get the caution, he'd get the lucky dog and an opportunity at fresh tires. But that remains to be seen with 2 laps to go. Zach Millett still out in front. Dylan Bryant still successfully holding off Larry Dickerson. White flag in the air. Zach Millett crosses the stripe. He's home free now. Just needs to make it back to the checkered flag. Stay out of trouble. Watch these battles out in front. Make sure there's nothing he can run into. Plenty of room. No pressure out the back. Zach Millett into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. He won the pole position this afternoon. Couldn't do it in practice, but it doesn't matter. The one that matters, it's the checkered flag. Zach Millett wins the EV Racing Las Vegas 188. Dominating fashion. Alfie Charon's going to take it. Larry Dickerson edges Dylan Bryant for P3 at the line. Zach Millett, your race winner. Very happy Zach Millett here on the front stretch at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to jump out and get a break out of the way and have our top 3 finishers in the booth after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Zach Millett, Alfie Chair, and Larry Dickerson, your top 3 finishers. Of course, Zach Millett, your race winner. We'll pull Zach into the broadcast booth and get a word with Zach Millett. Zach, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You with us?
Hey, Steve. Got a copy, buddy.
Congratulations, man. Another win here in the Numb Thumbs Racing League. Putting on a clinic this season. Put on a clinic here tonight. Didn't lead every lap, certainly led the most from the pole position. You had a strategy as far as the pit stops were concerned. It seemed like 31 laps, hit the pits. Another 31, hit the pits. Doing the math based on conversations we had with some drivers early on, we weren't sure that you're going to have enough all the way to the checkered flag, but you managed to make it happen. How tight was the fuel at the end of the race?
It was scary, man. We saved a ton, Alfie and myself. We saved at least a lap and a half, 2 laps worth on that last run. And I mean, we miss Brian Rose here, man. He's the math guy, you know. We rely on him big time. And him not being here, we were kind of just winging it, you know. The second to last run, I wanted to stretch that one more lap, and it would have made all the difference. I wouldn't have had to save a bit, but I was about 0.3 gallons off, and I didn't trust it. So yeah, it was a good job to Alfie too. We really made that work, and you know, kept the strategy going the whole race.
Certainly a good one to watch as far as strategy goes. Not a single caution to speak of, so when it comes to the fuel number, you just kind of have to know right where you're at and run that until something changes. Nothing did change. Got lucky with that, so a job well done, I gotta say.
Thanks, man. I'm glad it worked out. It was scary for sure, but yeah, it's a huge shout out to this league, you know, running these races. I mean, a Las Vegas truck race, caution free, 125 laps. That's awesome.
Things got a little scary on the first lap with Sizemore and some others. We managed to get through that without a caution. Hurt Sizemore pretty bad. He was able to battle back, have at least an okay afternoon, but certainly not where he planned to be. But enough about that. Next week, we go to the action track out at Richmond, Virginia. 170 laps on the short track. How do you feel about your chances out at Richmond next week?
Oh man, that's a track I love. I love Richmond. I love it in just about any vehicle. It's a lot of fun there. It's the same thing, you know, tire management. It's usually, you know, you can save gas a lot there if you need to. It's just, you can do anything there. I love that place.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, Zach. Again, congratulations on the race win here tonight. Who do you want to shout out to?
I got to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV for the broadcast as always. I got to thank Numb Thumbs Gaming, the NTRL for having this league. Again, it's great to run a race like this long in the trucks, caution free. You just can't beat it. Track Bar Media, Eric Dotson State Farm, Castle Products, Fahey Race Wraps, HBRShops.com. It's we tried streaming tonight. We made it through the stream, but we're having a bunch of issues with this camera, man. We're gonna get it fixed, and hopefully it'll be better. But shoot me a follow over on Twitch at ThatS4Guy.
All right, Zach. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week at Richmond.
Thanks, man.
Zach Millett, your race winner here at Las Vegas. Next, we're going to go Alfie Charon, our runner-up. Outside pole sitter and second place finisher here at Las Vegas. Alfie, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
I got you, Steve. How you doing tonight?
Doing well, man. Congratulations. Runner-up finish to Zach Millett. You guys both clearly on the same strategy. And as old Larry Mack would say, if you follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader. That's what you did all night long, but still second place. Nothing too shabby, man. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I was actually joking with Zach through the whole race. I was like, this is the one track I looked forward to coming back to because I knew I could try to stay with you and race you for the win. I don't know what he was doing on pit road, but he gapped me every time. I chased him down that one time, but after that, I just couldn't get back to him. I don't know.
Yeah, Zach Millett definitely very good on the brakes. That's why he does so well on the road courses, but he kind of treats that pit road entry, well, like turn one at Watkins Glen or something to that effect, and just hammers those brakes. We saw him locking up the tires every single time. It's a gamble, but if you can do it right, you certainly pick up a ton of time, and it seemed that every pit cycle that was the case. Though, going back to early on in the race, about 5 laps in, you did put the challenge on to Zach Millett. You passed him under green. You took the lead, led some laps. Yes, he did pass you back. Was that a planned exchange of position, or did you earn that one?
I actually earned that one, surprisingly, and then right when you seen me give the lead back to him, that was planned. I wanted to get back behind him so we could work together. You know, the HBR associate has to help the HBR team try to go for the win, and that was my goal for tonight.
Alfie, the HBR soldier these days. Interesting.
I'm trying.
Next week,
hopefully next season we can get some contract stuff going,
well, things are in the works. Plenty to talk about in silly season as we approach that. But let's talk about next week. Richmond, Virginia, the action track. How do you feel about your odds on the short track next week?
Short tracks are kind of my specialty of what I can do on here. In the truck, it's gonna be a little iffy, but I'll give it my best shot and try to finish in the top 5.
Certainly looking forward to it. Again, Alfie, congratulations on P2 here this afternoon. Who do you want to shout out to?
Got to thank you for streaming this and always putting on a good broadcast. Got to thank Numb Racing for putting on such a good league. I mean, 125 laps caution free, can't beat it. HBRShops.com, Eric Dotson State Farm, Track Bar. Check out Zach at That S4 Guy, Castle Packs Power, Country Designs, and if you want a cool wrap like Zach, check out Fahey Race Wraps.
All right, Alfie. Well, again, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week at Richmond.
Thank you.
Alfie Charon, your runner-up here at Vegas. Next, Larry Dixon earning this one on the last lap. Pull Larry up into the booth here. Larry Dixon, Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got us?
Got you loud and clear.
Larry, congratulations, man. Last lap pass for that third place finish, man. We saw you battling with Dylan Bryant there for quite a while. We're going to try and get a look at the replay itself of it, but walk us through it. What happened?
Yeah, we got messed up at the beginning with that first lap, little, like me and Zach was talking, a little mayhem deal. I don't know how I missed it, but it dropped us back to 14th, 15th, and me and Dylan, we clawed all night to recover from that. And our strategy the whole race was, since we were so far back, we kind of treated it like a Talladega or Daytona race. We actually, instead of wasting time and holding each other up, being side by side trying to pass each other, we intentionally drafted the whole race, and it worked out. And then came down to the last lap. We were hoping that Zach and them, we knew they were going to be close on gas. Because I know Zach stayed pitted 3 laps before me, and well, both him and Randy did, and Dylan, I stayed that extra lap out longer than him, and so I had a lap fresher tires than him, and it paid off. And I was riding behind him the whole time, hoping we could just keep drafting, catch Randy and Zach, and we knew that they were going to make it. And that extra lap set of tires being a little bit fresher paid off, and he washed up in a corner and had to back out so he wouldn't hit the wall, and it allowed me to slide underneath him and get him at the end.
Just watching it here on the big screen, turns 3 and 4, Bryant went high, you went low, and it was close at the finish, door to door for the third place finish here, and you take it away. It was a masterful job, smart thinking, heads up driver for you, 100%.
Oh yeah, I don't know what made me come up with the idea of us just drafting the whole time, but I just thought about it and it worked out. And plus, what maybe being a fuel mileage race, I thought, well, if we could draft and they run out of gas, me and him be in the catbird seat, and one of us can steal the win, and at least both of us get podium. But like I said, they both did a hell of a job. They saved gas and made it to the end, called the strategy right. I just, like I said, wish that me and Dylan didn't get caught up, didn't have to slow up for that turn 1 mess and get so far behind and had to go in recover mode all night. Been nice to battle with them.
Makes you wonder what would have been or could have been, but you can't go back. You just have to look forward to next week at Richmond, Virginia, the action track. How do you feel about your odds out that way?
Richmond, I had to wait and see. Usually I struggle at short tracks. I've ran 1 race with the NTRL guys there, and I got a podium, but that was with the ARCA, so I don't know how much different the trucks are going to handle than what the cars do. So it'll be a learning experience, be something new, and hopefully it'll be a good race and keep the momentum going and go on to the next round of the playoffs.
It certainly is all you can do. Again, Larry, congratulations on the third place finish. Well earned. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
First off, huge shout out to my teammate Dylan. again, had a blast racing with him. I didn't know he was racing tonight. He caught me off guard and joined at the last second. So it's good to race with him. But huge shout out to him for racing me clean and helping me out with the strategy there at the end and working with him to keep us in the game long for the ending. Shout out to my wife for putting up with me doing this. She's my biggest supporter with this. She knows sometimes I have bad luck, and usually when I have bad luck, she has to hear about it. So shout out to her. Shout out to my teammates at Limitless Motorsports. I'm gonna join in the rest of the series, starting this upcoming season with the rest of the stuff. So shout out to them. Shout out to my buddy Chris. I know he had a bad run tonight, so hopefully he can rebound next race. And then my sponsors, LA Construction, JP Designs, and my biggest support sponsor, the reason I do this to raise awareness for Angelman Syndrome Foundation and just any forms of autism, because I got family members with autism, and anything I do to raise awareness for that is a great thing to do. And anybody can donate to those, any autism organizations, do what you can to help them out. It'd be a great cause. And shout out to you for your awesome broadcast. Can't wait to go back and look at the replay. You do a hell of a job every broadcast. I look forward to hearing it. And shout out to Derek and all the league sponsors.
Well, Larry, again, certainly appreciate the kind words, and 100% a worthy cause, Angelman Syndrome Foundation. If you guys can donate to that, or again, anything related to autism awareness or any research, anything to that effect, it certainly goes a long way. Larry, congratulations, man. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck next week at Richmond.
All right, look forward to it.
It's Larry Dickerson, your third place finisher, getting it done on the last lap here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at our race results. We talked to our top three: Zach Millett, Alfie Charon, Larry Dickerson. Fourth, Dylan Bryant. Certainly, I'm sure he's frustrated with that one. Thought he had a podium, not to be this afternoon, but maybe things get better next week at Richmond Raceway. Fifth position was Paul Durkee. Justin Lawson was sixth. Nick Cote, P7. Chris Klein, eighth. Paul Ferdiani was ninth. Rob Chipman Jr. in the 55. He finished in the 10th spot. 11th went to Blaine Woodruff. 00 Joe Bennett was 12th. 13th, Timothy Pope. A tough night for Tim Pope. We expect to see him battling for race wins. Not back there just outside the top 10, but a tough night. Battled back, stuck with it. Finishes on the lead lap in P13. Brandon Coleman was 14th. Mike Adamson tried to work some strategy tonight. Got a little bit off from what the leaders were doing, and it just didn't pay off. Had a good run going. He was up there in the top three, depending on where he was at in the cycle, but had to make that one last pit stop. 15th position for Mike Adamson. Russ Kilgore, he was 16th. Jeff Ottinger was 17th. 18th, Dave Holmberg. Scott Milner, 19th. Andy Sizemore, tough night for him as well, finishes 20th. Tony Polk, 21st. Dan Baker, 22nd. Juan Jimenez, 23rd. Vincent Short, last and not least, in the 24th position. 79 laps down. Still unsure what happened with the 15 truck out of this one early. Clearly, not a good night for Track Bar Media or the 15 machine of Vincent Short. It's going to wrap it up for us here, though, at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Certainly thank you to Numb Thumbs Racing League, DEP Graphics for putting on the series, EV Racing for coming on to sponsor tonight's event from Las Vegas, the Las Vegas 188. And thank you guys all in the stream chat. It was busy tonight. Always like when you guys are in here chatting us up. Good viewership, solid truck crowd. It's a good race overall. Next week, I expect more of the same. Richmond Raceway for that. Tune in for it. And if you haven't already, checked us out at hbrtv1.com. Things are coming right along. We've got a photo gallery going up slowly but surely. There's a couple of pictures there. More to follow tomorrow. We've got the ability to watch the stream live. It's really just, it's YouTube embedded into it. But either way, you don't need to necessarily find us on YouTube. You can just go to our website, hbrtv1.com. Check us out there. It's brand new. Let us know if there's anything you want to see on there, and maybe some changes. We're open to suggestions. It's going to wrap it up, though. Thanks for watching, everybody. Congratulations to Zach Millett, Alfie Charon, and Larry Dickerson. Their top three tonight here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.